Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Kita berjumpa lagi. Alright. In part 2, lesson 08, week 9. Okay, so for this lessons, alright, we continue with the lesson agenda. Number 4, intersect operator, minus operator, matching the select statements, and also using order by clause in the sets operator. Okay, so this is lessons 08, week 9. Right. Okay, so lesson using the sets operator, lesson 08, 09. Okay, so let's without further ado, let's continue to slide number 15. Okay, start here, start from the current slides. Alright, and move to the next slides. Okay, so this is the third operator. The previous one is from the part 2 we have unions and also union all. So for part 2 we have another operator that's what we call as intersections. Okay, so for intersections, okay, the intersections operator returns all rows that are common to multiple queries, both queries. So meaning that they return only this row, okay, that is common to both query number A and query B. So this is what we call intersection. Alright, the original one. Okay, so the number for the guidelines, the number of columns and the data types of the column being selected by the select statement in the query must be identical in the select statement used in the query. Okay, so number of columns, if let's say we have 4 columns here and we have 4 columns here, so the numbers might be the same, and both data types must be the same. If let's say just like the union also, if let's say we have data type number for select statement A, the select statement B also we must put the same data types. Okay, and the reversing the order of the intersected tables does not alter the result. Okay, so if let's say we select this first and then later we select A, okay, or maybe we select A first and then we select B. Okay, so the reversing order of the intersected table does not alter the result because the result is going to be the same. This is the only result. Okay, and the next one, intersect does not ignore null value. So meaning that they still have, if let's say we have null here, so the result also the result has the null value inside that. Okay, because this does not ignore. So we still have a null value if let's say in this select we have null value. Okay, so let's move to the next one. Okay, so this is the statement. Display the employee ID and job ID of those employees who currently have a job title that is the same as their previous one. That is, they changed job but they have now gone back to doing the same job they did previously. Okay, in this situation, if let's say before this the job ID is clerk, then after that later switch to maybe account lah, just for example, and after that going back to the previous one, the job ID or the job is as a clerk again. So we need to know and we need to identify this kind of people. Okay, so this is the situation. So they changed the job. Okay, they changed the job but have now gone back to doing the same job they did previously. Okay, so if let's say we are going to use something like this, okay, number 1, select employee ID, job ID, employee ID, job ID. Okay, number of column must be the same, and also data type same. Then we intersect the both select here, and at the end of the day this is the result. So meaning that this employee SAREP and also AD assistant is now back to doing the same job as they did previously. So before this the SAREP, then they're doing the same job again. If let's say they are AD assistant, then they're going back to do the same jobs they did previously. Okay, so this is the example. Alright, so let's move to the next one. Okay, the fourth one is minus operator. Okay, minus operator. Alright. Okay, so in this operator, the minus operator returns all the distinct rows selected by the first query. Okay, the return distinct rows selected by the first query. So this is the first query, but not present in the second query result set. So this is the second query. So the output, okay, is going to be only this one, the yellow one. So the first query. Okay, the first select statement minus the second select statement. This one A minus B. Alright, so in this situation A minus B, then we will produce only this output. Okay, the number of column for the nodes of column must be the same, and the data types of the columns being selected by the select statement in the queries must be belong to the same data type. Okay, this is the same rules as compared to the previous one. Okay, union all, and also intersections. Okay, in all the select statement used by the query, the names of the column, however, need not be identical. Okay, so this is also the same guidelines using in union all, and also intersections. Okay, so let's move to the next slides. Okay, in this select statement, okay, display the job IDs of those employees who have not changed their job even one. Okay, so we want to know the job ID, the employees who not change their jobs even one. So in this situation, we can use operator minus. Okay, so number of column must be the same. If let's say here 1, this is also 1. Number of data types are going to be the same. Okay, so if let's say this is number, this is also number, and the only thing is we come from two different tables, employees and also job history. So minus operator final output is going to be something like this. Okay, so this is the outputs. Okay, 193 until 208. So meaning that's all this employee ID, all right, have not changed their jobs even once. Okay, so this is the first query, this is the second query, this is the first query, this is the second query. Okay, so this is the output letter. Right, so this is the output. Okay, so the next one. Okay, matching the select statement. Okay, so matching the select statement using the union operator, display the location ID, department name, the states where it is located. Okay, you must match the data types. Okay, because this is one of the guidelines or rules, we must make sure the data type is going to be the same. Okay, so if let's say the data type is different, so we can match the data type. So using to char function or any other conversion function, to char, to num, to date, when column do not exist in one or the other tables. Okay, so let's look into the example here. Okay, so for example here, select location ID. So here we have location ID, right? Okay, this is location ID, then and this is also location ID. Okay, so we have department names. Okay, and departments, this is column alias, change into department. To char, warehouse location. Right, so in this situation, the location ID, and then after that to char, department, state, province. Okay, so this is the matching. Alright, so number 1, location ID. Okay, so we have department here and department name. Alright, so this is the pair, okay, to char. So we need to renames, okay, the column names, okay, to match the data types. If let's say here we are using character, then we need to change to character here. and also here we have a state province. Also in this state province we are using char. So of course in the first statement here, alright, so we need to change the data warehouse into the character also, because we want to match this column name column data type. Okay, so to make sure that all the column names here is using the same data types, is using the same data types. Okay, so that is the reason. So we need to matching the select statement here. All right. So in these situations, all the column name here and here, okay, we change to char, and also we change to char. Then after that we put union to combine both statement. Okay, so as a result, all right, okay, so this is the okay, so this is the things. We change to the department number into char, and then after that, okay, we change to char also for a state province. So we have two here, department names and also state province. Both we change to character. Okay, to char. Okay. Okay, so this is the matching select statement. So as long as we follow the guidelines, number of columns is going to be the same, the data types is the same, then we can produce the output, something like this. Okay, just follow the union's regulations or guidelines. Okay, so the next one, matching the select statement example. This is another one. This is another example. So using the union operator, display the employee ID, job ID, and salary of employee. So we have employee ID, we have job ID, and also salary. Okay, but in the second select, we have only employee and job ID. So the rule is the number of column must be the same. So if let's say here we have 3, in the second statement also we must have 3 number of column. So then we can put something just to matching the column. So if let's say here we have salary, then we know that the salary is, the data type is numeric or number. So we can put something here. So please make sure this is 0, not this is 0, not O. Okay, so because we want to match with the numeric data types. Okay, so let's look into the statement here. A literal value of 0 is added to the job history, where here to the job history statement to match the numeric salary. Okay, so we have salary here. Okay, this one, 0 is this one. To match the numeric salary column in the employees select statement. In the result shown, each row in the output that correspondent to the record from the job history tables contains a 0 in the salary column. Okay, so if let's say the salary, they have no salary here, so automatically it will put 0 here as an output. So this is the statement here. The result in this result shows each row in the column that correspond to a record from the job history table contains 0 in the salary column. Okay, so and then at the end of the day we have this kind of result. Okay, so next. Okay, so this is numeric. We must make sure numeric, this is numeric, and this is also numeric. And okay, last for the last agenda, using the order by clause in the sets operator. Right, so number 1, the order by clause can appear only once at the ends of the compound query. Right, so we must put at the end. and component queries cannot have individual order by clause. So meaning that we cannot have statement 1 have their order, statement 2 have their order, statement 3 have their order. So we only put one at the ends of the compounds. Okay, number 3, order by clause recognize only the column of the first select query. The column of the first select query. And by default, the first column of the first select query is used to sort the output in the ascending order. Okay, this is quite normal for the order by clause. Okay, so let's move to the next one. Okay, this is the example. Okay, so we have select employee ID, job, salary, employee ID, job. Okay, 0 just to matching the salary here from employees, from job ID, and we can put the order by clause at the ends of the statement. Okay, order by 2. 2 means numeric value number 2 and numeric column value number 2. So in this case, so which one is the numeric column number 2? Okay, numeric column number 2 is job ID. So this is column number 1, this is column number 2, this is column number 3. So if let's say we put 2 here, 2 is referred to job ID. So the output will be shown in the ascending order of the job ID. So they will sort using the column job ID. Okay, if you omit the order by, then by default the output will be sorted in the ascending order of the employee ID. Okay, so if let's say forgot to put this one, okay, or we don't want to put this one, so by default the output will be sorted in the ascending order using the employee ID, using the first one, this one, using the first one, employee ID. Okay, you cannot use the column from the second query to sort the output. Okay, so meaning that we cannot use this column in the second query. Okay, we're only using the first column here. Okay, so alright, so that's it, that's all. Okay, so I think okay, so I think this is the end of this lessons for part 2, lesson 09 week lesson 08 week 9. So in summary, for the summary, in these lessons, okay, you should have learned how to use union, union all, intersections, minus, and also order by. Okay, so for these kinds of operator is normally we use in DDBMS, distributed database management system. So normally there's a lot of thing that we can use in the distributed. So later maybe I will explain in the DDBMS so how to use union, union or intersects and so on. Okay, because all these operator normally used in distributed DDBMS. Okay, so with that I think I end these sessions. Alright, so hopefully you can see you again in my next lessons. Alright, so with that, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Kita jumpa lagi. Okay, terima kasih.